Man, 4-0. The team's
Yes.
starting really hot.
Yeah, really proud of our guys. They've been working hard. They've been locked in, and defense wins. Ultimately, I was very fortunate enough to play coach at UCLA when we led the country in scoring.
People are asking, did you get a chance to recruit LaMelo Ball?
Yes, all three of them. Jello Mello and Lonzo, Corey Close, and her staff. She was there when I was there, so I'm very excited for her. The team was unbelievable. Beat South Carolina.
Welcome to another episode of Do More with your 24. Got Coach Grace here, his official podcast. Coach Grace, man, 4-0. The team's
Yes.
starting really hot.
Yeah, really proud of our guys. They've been working hard. They've been locked in, and this is the fruits of their labor. So they've been getting after it, and I'm really excited for where we're at right now.
Coach, and the margin of victory is so significant, and I'm looking at the box scores because I didn't get to go see the games in live in public the first two, but it's blowouts.
Yeah.
And what's your philosophy on the margin of victories? I mean, you see like the Golden States before with the Splash Brothers at first.
Yeah.
They're blowing teams out. Would you rather your team win by slim margin or blowouts?
Well, I want to win. So whatever it takes to win. Sometimes we just worry about the next play, and no matter who's in the game. And sometimes when you do that, the results are blowouts, and sometimes they're close. I'd rather us win by 20 every game, but that's not going to happen. We're going to be in tight games, and adversity will hit. So I really don't focus on blowouts. I just focus on winning the next play.
But Coach, those blowouts, they're not by coincidental, right? And they always mention basketball being a game of defense. Coach, do you see your team defensively stepping up in the third and fourth quarter? Is that the reason for the blowouts?
Yes, our defense has been extremely well this year, and it's a lot of room to get better. I mean, we are giving up points, but that we shouldn't. But I'm really happy with this year's team's defense. They've concentrated on that. We put an emphasis on that every day. We always do. And defense does win basketball games for sure.
4 games in, Coach, 4-0. Give me a takeaway so far that you're really impressed with this team.
How they're locked in. We go and watch film. They're all there. They're asking questions. We get to the court. It's businesslike. They really want to win. They really like each other, and it's a special group. And I'm really impressed with how well that their discipline has come. Since I got here to Campbell Hall.
That's amazing, Coach. And it starts it's like putting the work. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, people think that these kids just go practice a couple hours and just hop on the court, but it starts during the summer, right?
Yes.
And talk about that summertime where everyone's like getting together and working out. Identify some of the players from the summer until now, the growth that you've seen.
Well, I think they all have gotten so much better, from obviously Isaiah Johnson and then James Bass, who's been putting up big, huge numbers now, who's come a long ways. He's only played 4 years of basketball, and he's had great growth. They all have, you know what I mean? I can go down the list. Sujin Bristol, who's the other senior, has had great growth. He did a great job on the kid from Phillips who's got a great interest and a lot of offers and was averaging 40 points. He held him to 10 points under his average. So, but they've all done well. Deuce Newt has come a long ways. Deuce Hamilton.
Shout out to Deuce Hamilton.
Yeah, I mean they're always getting better. They're always learning, and some go at different paces.
Right.
Some are late bloomers. Some are getting it. Christian Rogers. I mean, we can go down the list of who's done extremely well. Nikita Koshnev is working hard, and he'll get to play on the 26th after sit out because he transferred, and the list goes on and on and on who has grown since our summer, and that's by design,
right.
And that's how we play our games, how we practice, and learning concepts and doing skill development, and really proud of all of them. So they've all grown.
But Coach, skill development, does it start with just fundamentals? I know that the game of basketball really is, if you just play the game right, right? It's different from a lot of other sports, right? Because it's a team sport. It's not like tennis, not like golf.
Right.
How much does fundamentals play into just running in the flow of the game?
Fundamentals is everything. You got to be able to pass, dribble, shoot, and defend.
Right.
But you also, excuse me, you also got to know concepts.
Right.
And we have our skill development guys all across the country, the
Right.
workout guys, but rarely do they teach concepts. And rarely do they teach defensive concepts,
Right.
whether it's no middle defense, pack line defense. And our kids are learning those things now, and how to watch film, how to be in gap help on defense,
Right.
where, they go to a workout, it's all about them. So learning team concepts is so important. And at the high school level, I think it's so important. And I think it's been lacking in the high school level. And that's why the different countries are catching up to us, because of skill workout. We always have talented kids. We also have very gifted kids here
Agreed.
in America, but the concepts have not been taught the way they should be.
I agree, Coach. And you know what? That's crazy that you see it, because you see the Lucas
Yeah.
in the NBA, right? You see the Ricky Rubios that,
Right.
that translate their game from overseas to the States. It's fundamentals, really.
Right.
You see, I know Luka doesn't play all fundamentals all the time,
Right.
but when you see the core of his game, it's really just
Yeah.
don't quote me on Luka's defense, by the way. I'm talking about his offense.
Yeah.
But it's all fundamentals, especially
Yeah,
the
it's
overseas
fundamentals.
guys.
It's fundamentals, and they practice more than they play over there. So we play more than we practice here. So it should be a good medium on that, But we have very talented guys in playing basketball, and ladies playing basketball. I think we still, have some of the best in the world, but we have to learn the concept of the game.
Right.
And when you teach those things and the kids get it, then they have those blowouts that we have. So we'll have tougher competition as the season goes with our upcoming tournaments, and we have a game tomorrow that we're very concentrating on. I always take one game at a time, and then we'll go into our tournament season.
Coach, now you talked about that, the more games in practice. What does the AAU do to high school basketball and college basketball as well? Because they're playing so much mileage on their knees.
Yeah.
What does that do to the players?
Well, I was an AAU coach. I'm a big fan of AAU. It's very difficult to practice in AAU because you're getting kids from all over to go play on a team on a weekend.
Right.
I think it's, you still should have AAU, but then we should also have, practice during the week,
Right.
and be able to get in a gym and work out, not only individually, because all of our practice we have skill development,
Right.
but also learn concepts, learn how to play defense.
Right.
Defense is a team effort. It's not one-on-one. You still have to guard your yard, but you also have to be in help defense, and you have to be able to box out.
Right.
There's on social media, I don't see any defensive highlight film.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't
It's always offense. So and the kids see that. So
Right.
they're only doing what we allow them to do. But I love skill development guys. I think
Right.
they're there. Everybody's needed, but we just have to get a medium.
You know what? That's totally on point, Coach. You talk about defense doesn't get the glory, but it'll keep you in the league. And if you look at players like Bruce Bowen,
Yeah.
who was a defense specialist, who was the other guy that used to lock up Kobe that played for the Suns? Rajah Bell.
Yeah.
He played 15 years in the league because of defense. So
our Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday.
Who will go down is one of the greatest ever to play out of LA, with his resume.
Out of Campbell Hall as well.
Campbell Hall, 2 gold medals,
Right.
2 NBA championships, played at UCLA, and he's known for his defense. So and his ability to help others get as a distributor. So Drew is an amazing person off the court as well.
Right.
His mom still works at Campbell Hall, and so does his sister.
Right.
So Drew Holiday is a perfect example.
That's right, kids. So if you're watching this video and you think defense isn't cool, run the tape on Drew Holiday, run the tape on Rajah Bell, Those guys are the epitome of just playing defense, and defense doesn't get the glory, but they're actually much needed. They're the true MVPs. If you coached all your
Yes.
past players,
Yes.
you notice that the defense actually is the heart of the team, right, Coach?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Defense wins. Ultimately, I was very fortunate enough to play coach at UCLA when we led the country in scoring,
Right.
and we had one of the best teams, went 31-5.
Wow.
But we didn't win the national championship. So, if we would played a little bit more defense,
Right.
got a little bit more stops, then I think we'd have won the national championship.
That was a tough season, Coach. I remember that 2017 team.
Yeah.
Lonzo played amazingly.
Yeah.
They just went through Kentucky, and that was a tough one.
Yeah, we beat Kentucky at Kentucky earlier that year, and then we get into we go back for Kentucky had a home game in the NCAA tournament. We played in Memphis,
Yeah.
Which is right down the street, bordering states, and it was definitely a Kentucky crowd.
Right.
So, and then Lonzo gets hurt in the first part of the game, and De'Aaron Fox, put on a show afterwards. We couldn't stay in front of him.
You know what, Coach? Talking about UCLA, I know you, the prime epitome of a great recruiter. People are asking, did you get a chance to recruit LaMelo Ball?
Yes, all three of them.
Nice.
Jello, Mello, and Lonzo, all of them committed to UCLA.
Right.
Actually, Lonzo obviously played, and Jello was playing as well. And then the incident in China, and then Mello went on down to Australia and played. He went pro right away, so we didn't get a chance to coach him. But definitely he was coming. He had already committed. I recruited all three of them, and they're a joy to be around. They're funny as all get out, and they have their own podcast, so watch their podcast as well. And they're doing great things. They're very gifted family, very caring family, and they're big on family. So, and I'm so blessed that they have me a part of their family. So yeah, I was able to not coach them, but recruit all three of them.
Coach, I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question. What would UCLA look like if they had all three Ball brothers playing one time? Walk me through that.
We would be in the hundreds. We would play in the hundreds. They were just that gifted.
Yeah.
Lonzo's player of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was the national player of the year. And all three of them, obviously, Melo's all-star.
Yeah.
And Jello, I mean, he's just probably one of the strongest players I ever coached.
Yeah.
And he was a tough kid, can shoot it too.
Yeah.
So we would win a lot of games with those three for sure.
Talk about shooting, Coach. How important is it in the league to develop a shot? Because a lot of people say, well, I play good D, my fundamentals are on point, but what about that shot? How important is it for a kid to work on that shot?
Very important, and we can use Lonzo for that. He shot the ball on the left side, and we didn't mess with it because we knew he was only going to be with us for 6 months, and he was going to get drafted. And then he changes his shot, and he can shoot the heck out of it now.
Yeah.
So it's very important to be able to shoot the basketball, because if you can't shoot the ball, then defensively we don't have to guard you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you want to be a threat on the court as well. So again, the fundamentals, pass, shoot, dribble, and defend.
Wow, that's awesome, Coach. Now, you have a big tournament coming up after this game, the Tarkanian Classic. Talk about that classic. How important is it to this team to build that culture?
Well, we get to travel together, so that's the culture off the court, and we're going to play in the top bracket against some of the top teams in the country. We open up with Coronado, a good friend of mine. Jeff Kaufman is the coach over there, and they're good. They're a national powerhouse. Traditionally have top players come out of there, and then they'll be at home. So we'll be on the road against them, and what better challenge? We'll play in front of not only college scouts, we'll play in front of NBA scouts there because it's certified. So it gives great exposure for our kids. They get to go hang out and be with one another on the road and see how that goes. And they've done it before, and we've had great success. Our last trip to Vegas, we went 2-1 against prep schools. So Tarkanian's huge. These games count towards our record, and it gives us great exposure for our kids.
That's a good point, Coach. I remember Kobe was talking about his AAU days, playing tournaments, and it builds like culture, brotherhood with
Yes.
people. And it's like I see this Campbell Hall team from afar from social media. It's a brotherhood here, so
Yes.
looking forward for them, the guys gelling. Coach, anything you want to plug for the next few weeks?
Well, we're going
Before
to
next
be in 3
podcast?
tournaments.
Uh-huh.
We're going to go to Tarkanian Classic, and then we'll be in the Damien Classic, which is in Laverne, California, which is another top tournament in the country, and we'll play against great competition there. And then again, we'll end our tournament season with a trip on. We'll travel on New Year's, so we'll
Wow.
play January 2nd through the 4th in Phoenix, Arizona, in the Nike Tournament of Champions. We're sponsored by Nike. We're a Nike elite school, so we're excited
Thank you
about
for
those
the
days.
Nike. Thank you for the sweatshirt, by the way.
Yeah, man. So, but those 3 tournaments, we have a big, huge game tomorrow against El Camino Real at the LA Court Report showcase. So well, I'm a 1-0 guy. I don't like
Yeah.
looking down further than our next opponent. So because our next opponent is our biggest opponent. So, and I have great respect for El Camino and what they do. So, but that's what's on our schedule. After we get back from those 3 tournaments, then we concentrate on league play. And our league play is, man, the Gold Coast League is from top to bottom is very good.
Right.
We have not only ourselves, but we have Brentwood, we have Windward, we have Viewpoint, and Crossroads. So all of those teams are outstanding this year, and it's going to be a battle night in and night out. So come watch us. Come watch the Gold Coast. You got the Mission League,
Yeah.
and you got the Gold Coast. So come check us out, and you'll see a great brand of basketball, great coaches in our league, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Come support the kids. You can get tickets on Campbell Hall's website. But more importantly, Coach, talk about the scouts. You're talking about college scouts, NBA scouts in the stands. Does that make, from what you've seen, some of the kids nervous when they go out play ball?
Well, they always want to do their best. I think what makes them nervous is a lot of times the pressure that other people put on them.
Right.
You know what I mean? The college coaches come and they get excited.
Right.
Tuesday we'll have UNLV at our practice.
Wow.
And they've been coming all year long. So I think they get excited for it. Obviously, a little nervous, but I think the pressure that their parents might put on them or other people put on them, that's where the stress comes and anxiety comes, or they hear the outside noise, they want to look good on social media.
Right.
Those things are driving anxiety and for our kids, and to play in front of college scouts, obviously you get a little nervous, you know what I mean, but if you want to play there, you got to play in front of them, right?
Right.
So our kids are battle tested and all of that.
It's kind of like above the rim when he's like, man, a scout from Georgetown's in the stands.
Yeah.
But you know what, Coach, maybe you can give us the inside peek. This is the reason for the podcast is, what's some of like the general questions some of the recruiters are asking you when they're asking about one of your kids in the program?
Well, they don't come unless you're winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times, like, I spent 14 years as a Division I college coach. I'm going to a winner.
Yep.
You know what I mean? What does he do to win?
Right.
What kind of winning plays does he do? Not only on the court, but off the court.
Right.
Is he a winner off the court?
Mm-hmm.
Coach, is he coachable?
Right.
Is he a great teammate? There's so many attributes that you look for in a kid, but number one is, are you a winner?
Right.
Are you going to help me win basketball games? Because that's the bottom line.
Agreed.
So much money spent on recruiting, so much money spent now in NIL on paying kids, but they want to pay winners, and what do you do every day to win? And what do you do at your 24, right?
Right.
You got to do more with your 24. You got to make winning plays,
Right.
not only on the court, but off the court. And, I used to go try to find a janitor at the school or the cafeteria person at the school and say, hey, what kind of person is this young man when the teachers aren't around or the coaches aren't around? Is he a good person? Does he help others? Is he or is he not? You know what I mean? And those things you gather up, and then you go back and tell your boss, if your assistant coach, of, hey, this kid's going to help us win basketball games.
Agreed. And you know what, Coach? One thing I noticed about you is you're a man of character, and you instill that in your players, right? And
Yes.
what you just mentioned right now, how does he treat the custodian?
Yeah.
How does he treat the lunch lady, right?
Yeah.
Those are all character attributes to make him a great player as well. So I
Yeah.
commend you on that.
Well, thank you.
Coach, one last thing. The UCLA women's basketball team.
I love it. Corey Close and her staff. She was there when I was there, so I'm very excited for her. The team was unbelievable. Beat South Carolina, who's, Don Staley's done a tremendous job there, and she beat another USC team, right?
Yep.
So I'm really happy for her. Throw them up, throw the floors up. So. I'm just excited because I know her hard work. I know what kind of person she is and her staff. They all do a tremendous job. They all been there for the most part with her since I was there. And we shared, obviously, a practice facility with them, and we were right around the corner from our offices. And I would go down there all the time, you know what I mean? Go down there and hang out with them and talk hoops and see how they were doing. So I'm so happy for Corey. I'm so happy for UCLA. It's being able to spend 5 years there were, some of the best years of my life on the basketball side of the house. And I'm always going to be a Bruin. So I'm so happy for her and the basketball team. Let's go get that championship.
I have a feeling they are going to get it, Coach. One last thing before we let everyone go, Coach. Where can they find you again? I know we plugged you on their first episode, but a lot of time people aren't watching the first one. So how can they find you, Coach?
Well, our Campbell Hall IGs, CH basketball, and I'm not getting the right one for Twitter, but anyway, go to Campbell Hall. Google that, and then mine is Coach Grace 1 for IG, and then Coach David Grace for Twitter as well. So come follow us and follow Anthony's stuff as well, and we'll have more content come out, and it's all about the kids.
All about the kids, guys. Come support the program. You can get gear like this on the program's website. Support the kids, support the program. Thank you, Coach, for another great episode. Can't wait for the third one when we talk about the tournament and the update. And, Coach, have a blessed weekend and good luck.
Man. All right. Do more with your 24. Thank you.
So do more 24.